It's a wonderfully disgusting fall day. The rain is starting to pour down, and my joints and everything are starting to get a little stiff. I actually just called the chiropractor to see if I could get in today, but unfortunately, not as lucky. So looks like my dislocated rib in my back's gonna take maybe a little bit longer. Luckily, it doesn't hurt me very much. Like a lot of the other times when I have it, I breathe and it just kills. Makes me cough. Try not to do that too much because that does hurt a little bit. But I get them actually quite often, so it's really not that big a deal. I'll be fine until Monday. Plus two, I need to get it popped back into place and everything healed up for our trip to Disneyland in a couple of weeks. So just sitting here thinking on a couple of things that we could do to kind of prepare for Disney and kind of get our family, maybe, give them a couple of tips and ideas on what to expect.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past. And here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
We are going with Katie's side of the family, and we're going to be bringing our girls, Harley and Addie, for the very first time. So the math goes, we are going to have five under, let's go four. It's four at this point. Harley turns 4 in November. So we're going to have 5 under 4 years old. But luckily, we're still going to have 8 adults, so the parents still outweigh the kids. We're going to be going with Katie's parents and then her sisters and the siblings. And as you can see, my Bluetooth thing has a low battery, so that means I can't really talk on it too much. So just kind of sitting around thinking about it, I've got a few tips for everybody, so let's get going to it. One tip that Katie and I have noticed by going there, it's a very, very simple thing to bring, but it actually does a lot, and it is very practical and can be contained very, very small. So when you have a backpack, it doesn't weigh anything, you don't have to worry about it, but it'll keep everything dry. That's the key. Make sure you bring some garbage bags, not like the little plastic bags from Safeway or anything, but bigger bags that you can stick something like an entire backpack in. So you have water rides there, like the Grizzly River Rapids in California Adventure. In Disneyland, you got It's a Small World. You got Pirates of the Caribbean. You've got Splash Mountain. All those ones, you have the potential, and Splash Mountain, the guarantee that you are going to get wet. Everybody nowadays, they have their iPhones and different iPads and electronics and wallets and everything. I don't like sitting on my wallet and having my money be all wet after those rides. So I like to bring a garbage bag. Just throw it right in your backpack, right in the bag right before the ride. They can get as wet as it wants. As long as you tie up the top, you're good to go. Everything will be nice and dry, so you don't have to worry about it. Plus two, any treats or any snacks or anything that kind of gets a little gross, or gets a little like fake food. Pretty much I'm thinking of the turkey legs. They are delicious, but they also are a little greasy and can get it kind of a little bit messy. You can always use that as just the regular little garbage bag. You just throw all your trash on, scoop it all the way into the bigger garbage cans later on. It works. You can do quite a few things with them. So garbage bags, that's a good one. All right, finally just pulling in to the old house, kind of get some rest. But another good tip for you. It's just like what everybody else is starting to wear kind of on their belts nowadays. Everybody needs kind of that extra hand. And it actually, it helps out quite a bit. Here, let me get one out for you. Another good tip to bring into Disneyland is our everything. Well, actually, it's going to be these little guys, little carabiners. They're called, I believe, officially. But really, they just kind of give you an extra hand in what it is. The biggest example is you're going around, you're shopping all day. You know, if you don't want to stick something in your bag, or you just haven't had the chance to do it, or you wanted to, you know, or you just have it in your hand, something like that. You can always just clasp the bags, you know, right on there. So when you go to any restaurant or anything like that that serves a cafeteria style, you got to bring the tray out there. Just put your bag, just hook it right onto the little carabiner. Boom, you got it right there. Or your backpack or whatever, just for that little extra hand that you don't have to worry about somebody else coming and helping or anything like that. So definitely another good tip. Bring these guys. They really help out, and they do save a lot of energy and time and stress. Let's get that belt from work. Most importantly, coffee cup, so we can bring that later. Really?
See?
Circus Under the Sea.
Are you making a video?
I knew you were going to ask that.
How do
See? Run, run! You smell like wet dog.
No. I just picked a bath.
Don't chew on that. That's Daddy's earpiece.
Oh, Daddy's there.
Yeah, don't chew on that. Oh. And with us, bringing the girls for the first time. Ew! Don't do that. Pull that out of your mouth. Put that at your mouth. Put that at your mouth. There. Jeez. It's gonna be kind of a new thing for all of us, but for reasons that unfortunately can't really talk about. We'll talk about later. Whenever we go to Disneyland, boing, 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 we need to rent one of those electric scooters. So it's actually a really, really wonderful program that they have with it. They'll if your battery dies out,
I clicked it.
What'd you do?
Clicked
it. Daddy's radio. Yeah. What they'll do is if your battery runs out, they will deliver a scooter to you anywhere in the park. You just gotta let them know where it is, and they'll just drive it right to you. So so that's one of the cool things. But the tip is there's actually a little USB port in it that you can charge your phone. So if you do happen to rent a scooter, or you need to, or anything like that, try to get the kid off me. This one. There's a little secret USB port, so make sure that you take your phone charging cord, because nobody wants any of those things to die. Because we have memories we need to keep, even though this memory is driving me insane. Yay! Somersaults! Do your hair flipping. The beginning of a break dancer. Okay, it's time to go to sleep. As a lot of you know, I work nights. So just got home, gonna grab a couple hours of sleep. So those of you know that need to call me, just don't. I'm just gonna go to sleep now. So yeah. I know pretty much what everybody else is thinking. It's like, wow, he's really lazy today. So I pretty much moved from one bed to a couch. But I kind of did that for good reason. Because somebody else has to sleep. Grandma just took Harley to the beach where she lives for the weekend. So I need to watch the other little one. And right now, this is the best time. So we will also use this opportunity to talk about the pin trading. thought she was gonna move for a second, but she's not. Nah, we're good. So Disneyland, of course, makes these little pins that you can trade at anywhere in the park. So the cool thing about it is they have people set up at just kind of different posts that just have these little flats or little envelopes, all with different pins on it. You can go up to them. You can trade one of yours for one of theirs. And then, of course, there's no restrictions. You can do it, as much as you want. And it's just kind of a fun little extra thing that they do. Kids tend to really get involved with it. Me and the wife tried it last time. And one thing that we have learned is that those pins can get a little pricey if you go to the park and just buy them straight out. It can be anywhere from like $5 to $10. When you're considering the low amount is like $4 or $5, it can definitely add up. So what we do is we always go online and buy bulk pins for really super cheap. I think you can buy a lot of like 50 on Amazon for I don't know, maybe $30-$40 max. So obviously, let's do the math. $5, 50 pins. That's $250. That's a little bit more than anybody wants to spend for pins, or $30. So what we tend to do is go through the ones, find the ones that we like the most, and then keep those ones, trade the other ones that we don't like. So we brought this to Harley, and Harley is going to kind of do the same thing with us this time. So it's definitely a cheaper way to do it. So that's another good tip for you. Well, looks like we've still got a sleeping babe. So let's try to get this all taken care of. So another good tip that we have there is, of course, just like everybody else knows, you want to kind of bring some of your own snacks. It's a lot cheaper. Good example. I remember on our honeymoon, I think we went and we bought a case of water at Target. Oh, it's alive! It's alive! Probably because I started talking. And the case of water cost us about $8. When we went to Disneyland, we bought 2 bottles of water. Almost cost us $8. So you can just take them in your bag. Also, another side tip is make sure that the drinking fountains and everything that you guys go through, well, just actually don't make sure on anything on those. Just don't use them. They're still dealing with a minor instances of foot, hand, and mouth disease. So, which I have had. It really hurts. I've had coworkers go to Disneyland, and they've contracted it through the water fountains there. So they do have special filtered water stations, or you can always go inside any sort of sit-down restaurant where they have one of those pop machines. You can get water there for free. Just let them know that you're taking out of water. Just get the biggest cup you can find, water, let them know. They'll let you take it out. It's totally fine. So that's kind of, especially one of the most important things there, so you don't end up getting sick. So yeah, that's obviously a very special tip for you guys. Another really good thing that Disney does for parents is they have something called the Switch Rider Passes. It's kind of along the same lines as Fast Pass, although with the Fast Pass, you go up to a kiosk, you put your ticket in, and it'll spit you out a ticket that you can go into a special faster line between certain times. So you don't have to wait in those big long lines or anything like that. This one, the Rider Switch Pass, is for pretty much anybody with children that want to go on a ride that can't. So, say example, we have this little one right here. I don't really think that she can go on Space Mountain, but if me and her mother want to go on there, we would just go up to the when we make it to the line. I would hold the baby, and Mama would ride the ride. And then when that ride was done, we would use the rider switch pass. Mama would take the baby, and I would go on the ride without having to go all the way to the back of the line. It's not like anything that you physically get, but the workers there know that you're just doing a rider switch. So essentially, it's kind of like a fast pass for people who are smart, dumb enough to have kids. So that's always a bonus. Now, everything else, I mean, you can find tons and tons of videos on YouTube about just little tips and tricks and where to go and all this sort of stuff. The little secret bathrooms and things like that. So I'll let you guys kind of check those ones out. And it's worth going through, especially if you're planning a trip to Disneyland soon. The only other real tip that I have, which kind of goes for anybody traveling with kids, without kids, is just take your time. There's really no real reason to rush. Me and Katie have done both of them. We've hit the entire park all in one day, which has just destroyed us. Or, we've just taken our leisurely time, which is a lot more fun, especially when you have kids. You can't plan for their meltdowns or when they're hungry or when they're poopy or anything like that. Well, some of the times you can. You can, as parents, you have those times where kind of what their bodies are, when they're going to start to get hungry, all that sort of stuff. But, if you want to, just plan little things. For example, the only real things that I want to do is really just get pictures with and of my girls going to Disneyland for the very first time. That's important to me. We're taking Harley to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. She's gonna get her little outfit done up, and that's kind of all that we're planning for the days. So she's gonna have that. That's a scheduled time. Other than that, we're not really planning on anything. The only thing that we're planning on doing is having fun, especially with traveling with 5 kids. You just want, what? Are you telling me I'm done talking? No? Can I just finish this up, at least? Without your fingers going in my nose? Okay, well, we'll try. So just take it easy. Enjoy the fact that you're there. Enjoy the fact that you're there with people that you care about, with loved ones. And enjoy. So hopefully some of these will help you out. If you have any questions, either just let me know in the comment section, or family, you guys all have my number. If I have anything else, I will. Okay, now you're actually in my mouth. I move this wrong. There we go. Just let me know. Or if you have any other tips, definitely let us know. Anything to help out. So I've got a couple more videos coming up, strictly Disney related. I'm really happy to share those with you guys, and we're gonna have tons and tons of fun. See ya soon. Can I do it with my thumb? Can you let go of my thumb so I can do it? Okay, thank you. Oh, or do you want to do it? Did you want to do it? You want to do it? No. Okay. Well, bye-bye.
Hey, I forgot one more thing. Well, actually, a couple more things. But things that I wanted to continue this video with, because I forgot to tell them about it. They're pretty cool. I actually just went and had to get my buddy's tux for his wedding coming up in October as well. Actually, pretty much right as we get back from Disneyland. I got a wedding to go to, so I had to go and get that one. So sitting here at the men's warehouse, and then I just remembered, oh man, I forgot to tell them about the Magic Mornings. Magic Mornings, it's not like anything that's secret, but depending upon what package you buy for tickets to get into the park, it's only for Disneyland. It's what they call Magic Morning. You can go into the park early before the general admission comes in, and you can do, a couple more things with stuff that's open. There's just a couple of lands that are open. One of those lands is Fantasyland. That's actually the land that fills up the most, which I always kind of found, a little bit funny, but maybe it's just because I'm an adult. That would be the land that would be filled up the quickest, but it is actually the biggest one. It's got the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique in there. It has King Arthur's Carousel, and it has all the pretty much your fantasy themed rides from the movies. You got your Snow White Scary Adventure, Pinocchio, Peter Pan's Flight, which is actually one of the biggest ones that they have, not size wise but most popular. You got Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which is my personal favorite. I've always loved the Wind in the Willows. Mr. Toad was always kind of crazy to me for some reason. I really love the dude. You've got Alice's Adventures in Wonderland in there. You got the Storybook. You got a bunch of stuff in there. So that's actually the land that fills up the most. So number one, my recommendation is as soon as you get into the park on your magic morning, hit that one first because you'll actually be able to do the rides without waiting so much. But if you have a scooter, like I was talking about before too, all you really need to do is ask for where the wheelchair access is. And that's kind of like a fast pass. They'll actually throw you up to the beginning of the line. They're very, very good about disabilities and people with special needs, helping them out. I have yet to really see anybody get admitted to the park that hasn't been able to because of a disability. They're fantastic with it. So that's actually another little, just kind of a little trick for you too. If you happen to rent a scooter or a wheelchair or just have one, then make sure you always ask where the wheelchair access is. For example, well, you know, like in the Haunted Mansion, they just zip you up, really the Fast Pass line all the way up to the very front of it. Pirates of the Caribbean, they actually take you to the exit where you walk out into New Orleans Square. You got to go up that way, and they'll put you back in. So that's kind of cool there too. Of course, it's all dependent upon how busy it is. Sometimes they'll have you come back with a certain time, all that sort of stuff. Also, really fast, I wanted to talk about the Disneyland app for it. You know, I don't get paid or nothing for it, but it's actually very, very helpful. It has a bunch of cool features onto it. One of the biggest things too is the attractions. Obviously, all the rides and everything. The coolest here. Let me get to a good one. Here, let me get to a ride. Okay, let's see here. What ride do you guys want to see? You know what? Screw it. Let's go Matterhorn. Okay. So all you do, you'll see a bunch of things just like this, you know, pop up, and all you got to do, scroll over to one of them, hit it, bam. Well, you know, when you see it, it says Matterhorn bobsleds, and then you click on it. Tells you what everything is on it, when it's open, how long the rides are, the wait time for the rides. This is kind of one of the cool things. Tells you how tall you have to be for it, 42 inches. Sorry, Harley and the girls, you can't go on that, you're too short. But they can do most of everything else. But the one thing that I also really, really like about this app is that it does have the characters, even though you don't see any characters on the screen right now. They're all, you know, taking their breaks and all that sort of stuff. But they do have them on there, what times, what places they're going to be at. So that's kind of one of the biggest things too, that I really, really like. Because, you know, when you go into places, you never really know where, you know, they're going to be at. Of course, too, it also has, you know, Disney's California Adventure in there, too. So it's not just Disneyland, it's everything that Disney has in it. It's got a bunch of cool things, places to for dining, shops, where the restrooms are, another one of the biggest things in there, too. So it's worth your time to download this app. It's very, very helpful. So if you're planning any sort of trip, you want to make it as easy as possible. So there is your easy possible. I am going to go home now. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm tired. I got to get ready to bed so I can go to work. And I will see you guys all later. Boop.